Hey guys, welcome to day number 22 of 42 days of online business. So if you might have noticed that we skipped a few days, which, hey, I didn't say they were consecutive days, did I? I will do all 42, but I just launched Best of You, early enrollment to Best of You. So I've been getting a lot of stuff ready for that. I will be launching it to everybody later this month or early next month, but I'm in the early enrollment process right now, so I've been working pretty hard on the back end. But today I want to talk about something that keeps coming up a lot. People say, I don't have a website. Do I need a website? How do I go about getting a website? What things do I need to get started in my online business? So I wanted to talk about this briefly because I think this is one thing that becomes a huge barrier for people early on, because they go, I don't know how to start a website. Should I get a WordPress site? Should I get a Squarespace? Should I use all these other kind of different platforms? And they feel like they don't really have anything to do until they have a website. So yes, website is important because you can house your sales pages there. You have content, that you maybe have created, you built up content, which is important for SEO purposes, etc. However, the only thing that you need to make your business viable is customers. The only thing you need to make your business viable is customers. And your customers need one thing only from you. Customers need one single thing from you, and that is a solution for something they're struggling with. So you don't necessarily need, at least at first, a website to provide that. So you need customers, and in order to get a customer, you need to have a solution for something they are struggling with. So could you not deliver that on free platforms that we already have that we can use? Things like Facebook, things like Instagram, things like YouTube, all these kind of social media platforms that we already have at our disposal that are free. Yes, there's certain like pay to play, and we can talk about Facebook ads and things like that, but you don't need necessarily a website to get started. Eventually, you're going to need one because you need somewhere to house all your stuff. In fact, people just aren't reading blogs the way that they used to. A lot of my my coaching clients are moving to more video content, and they're posting their videos up on their site with maybe just a quick kind of summary bullet points of what's in the video. But a lot of people are posting on YouTube and using that as their kind of home base for content, their content hub. The old days of the blogging, kind of the golden age of blogging, which I came up in, I love that, but people just are not necessarily reading long form content anymore. A third of people are consuming video on the internet at this point. So things like Facebook Live, things like Instagram Live, Instagram Stories, YouTube videos, things like that are really popular. So you can use social media without having to have a website. I recommend using a WordPress site. It is the most universal. So that if you have an issue, people can help you with it. There's a lot of different plugins that you can use. It is a little bit more user-friendly than it used to be, but you can use something like Squarespace, and you can get started super easily with something like Squarespace. But do not use this as a barrier to get started. Because remember, you just need customers, and your customers are already on platforms like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, right? So they're already on these platforms. So number one, you can use the free platforms to connect with potential clients. Using these platforms to connect with potential clients. So starting to ask yourself, like, what is it that I've done a separate video on this, but what is it that you provide? What solutions do you provide? What are you good at? What is your expertise lie in? What do you have experience with? And how can you reach the people that need that expertise and that experience on these platforms? So we've talked about market research a little bit. You kind of need to know what are the exact struggles that people are having. So for example, if you're an in-person trainer and you're training at the gym, and a lot of times we're not necessarily like listening to our customers, or I'm sorry, listening to our trainees or our clients because we're like, yeah, that sounds great. We're counting down. We're doing a million other things. But your current clients are some of the best people to get insight into what they're struggling with. So a lot of times we just kind of think like, oh, that's just so-and-so's issue, or that's so-and-so's, they're complaining about something. Turn on your brain and start to ask yourself, like, what is this person always complaining about? This week in the States, it's Thanksgiving. When you're around a big table of people in your family, listen to what they're saying. Are they struggling with exercise? Are they struggling with compliance? Are they struggling with nighttime eating? Are they struggling with snacking? What are the comments around the food table? What are the comments around the dinner table? And you guys, that's so much awesome market research that you can put up on Instagram. You can do Facebook posts on that stuff. And if you start speaking the language of that person, you're right in. So they're immediately like, okay, Jill totally gets it because that's exactly what I'm struggling with. And meanwhile, I just asked my client what they were really having a hard time with or what I could help them with. And then I'm listening to the language that they're using, and then I'm taking that language and I'm putting it and turning it around and putting it right back up on social media. So you can use Instagram, you can use Facebook, and all you need to do in that space is show that you understand the struggle, right? Relatedness, and then give what your solution would be. What would you say if someone was really struggling with nighttime eating? Show me that you understand that struggle. Show me that you understand what it feels like to come home and just be eating all night long after dinner and feel like just kind of trapped and feel like you don't know what to do and feel like you have no tools, you have no willpower. Then you go to bed and you're like so stuffed, and you wake up in the morning and you have all this guilt and shame about eating, you know, so much stuff last night. Show me that you get that as a coach. Show me that you understand that scenario. And if I'm reading that, I'm like, this person totally gets me. If I'm a potential client and I'm like, I need help with nighttime eating, I'm looking at this person, I'm like, Jill gets it. Like, this is exactly what I experience every single night. And so when you're relating to them on that level and then you give a solution, that is going to help them feel as though you could be the coach to help them. So number one, use the free platforms. Number two, listen to your current clients. They're such great. Listen to your current clients, listen to people at the dinner table, ask your friends and family. Just, you don't even need a lot. You need like a handful of insight into what people are struggling with, because you might not have any trouble with nighttime eating anymore or snacking, and you've kind of overcome all of that. But what are other people asking? So listen to what they are saying, and then share your specific solution for those things on the internet using free platforms. Lastly, that's the third thing, is what's your solution? The last thing that I would recommend getting as soon as possible, and it's not associated necessarily with your website, is to get an email autoresponder. So I waited 2 years at JillFit to get an email autoresponder. Basically, that's just a fancy way of saying you need a service that helps you collect emails. You need a way to collect emails. I use something called Aweber, A-W-E-B-E-R. There's so many different ones. If you're just getting started, Aweber is a great one because it's only like 19 bucks a month. You could easily make 19 bucks back a month. And the second one is MailChimp, M-A-I-L, and then C-H-I-M-P. Yay, Holly said that she signed up for Aweber. Woohoo! MailChimp and Aweber are great ones to get started. They're a little bit more intuitive. There's, of course, like plenty of different ones that you can get that have a lot more different functionality, but I would start on that right away, because here's the thing. You do not need to have a website to collect emails, right? Remember the old school way where you go to someone's website and on the right-hand side, you know, it's like, join my email list. Sure, that still works, but that requires people to actually go to your website. If you don't have a website, how can you house one of those sign-up forms on Facebook or Instagram? So the cool thing is that you totally can. You do not need to have a website to do that. You can sign up for an Aweber account or sign up for a MailChimp account, and then you can create a sign-up form with their software, and then it will spit out a URL. So we'll give you a URL, and you can take that URL and you can put it right into your Instagram profile link, and you can say, go to the link in my profile and sign up for my weekly newsletter. And so you can start sharing great content with them weekly via your newsletter, and they didn't even have to go to a website to do that, right? So if someone were relating to your content, they're like, this is amazing, Jill has the best nighttime eating strategies, then you can say, if you like this, I share some of my best stuff every week in my weekly email, to my list. So you don't need to have a website to be able to actually start collecting emails. And the reason why emails, and I know you guys are probably maybe rolling your eyes like, Jill, no one reads email anymore. Believe me, they just don't nearly as much as they used to, but it's still the #1 place where your buyers are probably going to be hanging out, because someone had to actually give their email, they had to jump through some hoops to actually get your information. These people are going to be really what we call warm. These are going to be called like warm leads. They're people who are like, okay, I really want to get Jill's info in my inbox every week. I might not read it every single week, but I always know that she gives great stuff. And so providing great value to your email list is a great place to warm them up and create and start that conversation. So maybe they don't buy right now, maybe they buy 6 months from now or a year from now, because they've had that relationship with you. They've gotten your weekly emails consistently. They get great tips from you. You send them workouts, you send them recipes, you send them tools and tips and strategies. and they're like, oh, I'm ready to hire a coach, who else are they going to go to? They're going to go to someone who they have great experience with and that they have built a relationship with over the internet. So you do not need to have a website. Eventually you do, because you want to have your sales pages and stuff like that if you want to do some DIY programs, but you do not need them right away. So don't let that be a barrier to get you started. You have all the free platforms that you need to start creating and putting out quality content that helps a ton of people. So hopefully that makes you guys feel a little bit better. You can get started right now, but if you have any specific questions about software and stuff like that, I'm happy to answer them. Just post them below. Thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn says, not on topic, but I love your hair this way, so flattering and softening. Thank you. Yeah, I actually took a shower today. I'm down in Florida. This is my parents' house in Florida, down here, and it's a little bit humid, but I am cool to be back on the East Coast, and it's hot down here. Hope you guys have a great holiday if you're in the States, and I will try to see you tomorrow. All right, have a good night, you guys. Bye.